Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
Meanwhile, at Barrett Manor, the Baron's grieving widow was beginning to struggle with her performance. I swear, if one more person visits us empty-handed and fills my ears with their memories of Desmond, I shall lose my mind. Katrina sighed as yet another carriage departed from their estate. Only a few have come with money and gifts to console me. If only I could turn away those who bring nothing. Close the door, James. Katrina's feet ached from standing too long, exchanging empty pleasantries with mourners. Her face hurt from forcing a pleasant expression, and her eyes were shadowed with fatigue from the countless false tears she had shed. This is only the beginning, Baroness. Many more will come, pretending to have cared for the Baron. Shall I send for more comfortable shoes? Or perhaps turn away visitors entirely, telling them you are too deep in mourning to receive guests? James suggested. At this point, all I desire is something strong to drink. I am praying that one of our visitors today proves profitable. Katrina exhaled sharply. Why did Desmond have to die so suddenly before I could put everything in order? Another week would have suited me far better. The plan had been to slowly poison Desmond, but Edgar had ruined everything. Now Katrina was forced to adjust her schemes. At the very least, everything here belongs to Kate and me now. I just need to settle Desmond's debts without touching my own funds. James's interest was piqued. Her own money. As far as James or anyone else knew, Katrina had come to Desmond with neither fortune nor distinguished lineage. The Baroness had no business ventures of her own, as she had chosen the life of a pampered wife, content to let Desmond find ways to secure their income. The only way she could have money is if she hid it away before seducing the Baron, or if she had been secretly siphoning funds from him all along. Perhaps both, James mused. Bring me something to drink, Katrina ordered the butler, sinking into a chair in the dining room, already plotting her next steps. Once we sell off some of Desmond's possessions, we shall be in a good position to pay off his debts. Katrina's gaze roamed across the dining room, taking in every polished surface and gilded frame. A slow smile curved her lips. A poor little girl, and yet look at what she has achieved, she murmured to herself. If only my younger self could see this moment. Patience, my dear, patience. She savoured the words as she repeated them softly. Baroness, Baroness, Baroness. From a beggar on the streets to a girl in the red light district, and now the sole owner of the estate that had once belonged to Baron Desmond Barrett. This was her grandest deception yet. If only other men had been as easy to manipulate as poor Desmond, she mused, her grin widening. How much more could I have claimed if I had found more men like him in my youth? Lonely men, desperate for affection. Eager to be ensnared. If only Kate would listen to her, Katrina could mould her into something far greater than a duchess. She could be a princess or even a queen. Her moment of satisfaction was cut short by a sharp knock at the front door. James, someone else is here. See to it at once. She waited. Silence. Her irritation flared. Is no one going to answer the door? The chair screeched against the floor as she pushed it back. The first order of business will be hiring an entirely new set of servants. Why must I suffer the indignity of answering my own door? She pressed her fingers to her eyes, forcing the tears to come. One more performance, she thought, preparing herself once again to play the grieving widow. Good morning, she greeted automatically. But the moment she saw who stood before her, her breath hitched.
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Hello, Baroness, William Lancaster said smoothly, standing in the doorway with a thick fur draped over his shoulders. Katrina frowned at his attire. Fur in the height of summer. The heat was unbearable, and yet here he stood, dressed as though winter had arrived early. Without waiting for an invitation, William brushed past her into the house. "William, what are you doing here?" Katrina slowly shut the door, her mind racing. She had known he would come, but not so soon. "A long-time friend of mine has died," William said, his tone almost mocking. "Or rather, he was murdered by someone I rather dislike. How could I not visit his grieving family and offer my condolences?" "Thank you," Katrina said quickly. "But we are not receiving guests at this time. Perhaps you might return tomorrow." William ignored her entirely, his gaze sweeping the house with evident distaste. "This is how he lived. My dear friend had such poor taste." He shook his head and turned back to her. "Did you know that in our youth, Desmond bested me in everything? I envied him, but instead of wallowing in jealousy, I pushed myself to surpass him. And now, look at me. Your husband was forced to crawl to me for money." Katrina had no interest in William's reminiscing. His presence in her home could only mean trouble. "Are you here to collect the debt my late husband owed you?" she asked bluntly. William's expression darkened. "Katrina," he said, dropping all pretense of civility. "How could I possibly walk into this house and demand money from a grieving widow?" He smiled, a cruel glint in his eyes. "No, I am clearing Desmond's debt entirely. Consider it a gift from me to you." A gift from William? Katrina felt no relief, only dread. There was always a price for his generosity. Now she understood why Desmond had feared his old friend so greatly. "I see," she said cautiously. "I should thank you, but I find it difficult to believe there is no further expectation attached to this kindness." William smirked. "And yet here I stand without so much as a drink offered for my troubles. After all, one of my most loyal men was killed on your land. Do you have any idea what your husband cost me?" He turned sharply to face her. "I had expected a letter from your household that very night explaining what had happened. Instead, I had to send my own men to find out why Rowan never returned with Alessandra." Katrina bowed her head slightly, masking her growing unease. "My apologies, sir. My mind was in disarray. My husband had been murdered before my very eyes. I did not think to write to you regarding the loss of your servant." "Women," William sneered. "Useless in all things, apart from the bedroom, and even there many are lacking." His voice turned to a growl. "I lost a good man that night. Worse, I lost what I had instructed Desmond to acquire for me. But worst of all," he leaned in, his voice low and dangerous, "I lost them both to that brat Edgar Collins. Do you have any idea how humiliating that is for me?" His voice thundered through the house. James rushed to the entryway, several servants close behind. At the very end of the hall stood Kate, drawn by the commotion. Kate stared at the stranger's broad back, then at her mother's tense expression. "Mother," Kate asked, frowning, "who is this man? And what in heaven's name was that shouting?"
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.